On this episode of the John1911 Podcast, hunting content. Did we buy it or not? U.S. Air Force Aircrew Survival Rifle, and our machine gun prices collapsing. Okay, good evening, everybody. This is Kraken and Marky, and this is episode 388 of the John1911 Podcast. Shit, I didn't look up the date. Today is Thursday, December the 4th at 9:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have to timestamp this stuff as normal because stuff changes quickly. We are a little bit behind on podcasting. I wish I could say it was all because of hunting and everything else, but that would just be me a cop-out. It's more my schedule, not because you've been hunting or doing whatever. So, but let's just catch up and see what's going on. How you been, stranger?
Oh, I've been doing pretty good. Been doing a lot of deer hunting, so I've got one big buck hanging right now and trying to fill my muzzleloader tag. Thought I had one last night, but I hit it. It got up and ran, and we tracked it for over a mile. Come to find out, went back to where it made impact with the deer, and it looks like my projectile deflected off of a twig. So the bullet did my point of aim and my point of impact was not the same.
Oh, so is that when you're saying you thought maybe it ended up being a brisket shot?
Yeah, I'm 90% sure that's what happened. I've been deer hunting 47 years. It doesn't take one hand to count the number of deer that I've hit and not recovered. So I mean, we spent probably 5 hours trying to get this thing, and it just kept getting bumped up and taken off good, and then finally it got to where it quit dragging its legs. So, I mean, that really kind of indicates a brisket shot, which is just kind of a muscular thing. So, there's probably a 90% chance it'll heal up and be fine. I hate to lose one, but playing the percentages, it probably survived fine.
You had mentioned last night that you'd gotten up to a fence line.
hmm
Is there a rule about not crossing fence lines? Were you hunting in Nebraska or Iowa?
Yeah, I'm just hunting behind the house in Nebraska. So in
Okay.
Nebraska, you don't have any rights to pursue fallen game without landowner permission. Now in Iowa, you can. You have to go in unarmed, but over here in Nebraska, we tracked it across my property, tracked it across the neighbor's property, and then when it got to the piece south, I don't have permission to be in that. So, and by then he wasn't leaking anymore, and you could tell by the tracks he was starting to use his right leg again. So, I think the deer's probably going to be fine.
Okay. Well, because you had mentioned, I thought, because you're like, I'm trying to track down a deer, and you had mentioned to me last night via text message that you were going to get dogs, and you remember my response to
hmm
you?
Yeah, to get
What?
some video.
Well, no, I
This
said, I
this
said,
was
get
a
a I said, get a picture of the dogs. The internet loves dogs. I was like, holy shit, he's using dogs. I need pictures. Give me pictures of the dogs. Everybody loves that shit. The
well,
editor in me came out.
that's kind of a recent thing, as far as using dogs to track wounded deer. Uh, they especially down the southeast, they run deer with dogs. Up here, it's illegal, but we can use them to track. So we're starting to see guys pop up here and there with I call it repurposed coon hounds. They just teach them to track deer scent instead of raccoons. But the uh, the dog that we got last night, my buddy's like, we can give it a try. He's pretty green, but I'm like, well, he's only going to learn. But that was kind of a fiasco.
Oh.
We played more "Where's the dog" than anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He,
God damn
he's
it,
a,
where's that dog?
he's a pup, so he was kind of hunting for himself. So
Oh, yeah.
when your buddy's like, we can give it a shot, it's like, well, do everything we
There's
can, maybe get lucky, but
there's a guy here who I saw, he's popped up on the internet, and he has a service. And what I suspect is he basically you can hire him, and he will use his big ass drone to
Mhm,
find your lost deer. It's got thermal and stuff,
mhm.
and he has actually tracked down Like he'd shown a video where this deer had been shot but was laid up, and they couldn't see it, and so they couldn't find it. He literally found it, and when he found it, it was dead. And
Yeah.
they were like, "Yep, there it is. It's right there." And I was like, "That's pretty." I don't what it cost to. I don't know if it was a couple $100.
We've got a
You
couple
know,
guys doing it around here, and it's like 250, $300.
yeah, I think it was like maybe $200 or $300. And I was trying to look at the drone because the guy. I mean, it's not like a little like drone that you see like like if someone's listening to this, your son has a drone that's zipping around in the backyard.
Hmm.
This thing wasn't as big as what you would do to spray ag with, but it was bigger. It was big. I don't know what he does with this drone full time, but it was just like he didn't buy this drone to track deer.
Yeah.
He's using it for something else, and then decided, hey, it's hunting season because he offers tracking game. He offers deer surveys or wildlife surveys of your property,
Hmm.
and I can't remember what else he had. Um, Something, but there was something he offered that was like $3,000. Some big
Damn.
old thing I can't remember what it was. Um, like maybe like a GPS map and all the shit and the survey and like whatever,
Yeah.
like something. Or he's got some software or something. But I thought that was interesting. Things were changing. Well, I told you we had one of the neighboring farms. They used to bring in sprayers for the crops, and they used to use big sprayers, and then they had new rental or new tenant farmers come in, and they were using like a I call it a mule, but like a UTV,
Hmm.
not like a sport one, but like a Kubota or a mule, like a diesel one that's like more utilitarian.
Yep.
And it was pulling this big sprayer setup, and he was doing that. Then this year, man, he's flying a giant ass drone. I mean, this thing's like, I mean, this is no kidding. This thing is as big as a Honda. And he sprayed, I don't know. I mean, I saw this drone. He did probably, I think, about 90 acres of crop in very short order. I don't know how long he'd been spraying. When I noticed him, I smelled it before I saw it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell's going on? And, it's just like, well, I'm like an old man. Things are changing. Hey, you got your robots in the air, robot hunting your deer, and they got the robots. When I was a kid, we were men, and we had crop dusters, and we flew into power lines. So, it's like, holy shit.
It's kind of funny
Thermal
you
and
say
drones.
that, uh, because DNR is actually kind of getting into the drone game because, as technology advances, hunters will utilize it. So, in a lot of states now, they're even outlawing the use of game cameras because now you can get the linked game cameras that shoot the image right to your phone. Now, there's usually a little bit of a delay on them, but DNR's got it in their head, and I'm sure some guys have probably done it, where they're setting up cellular game cameras on game trails, and then they sit in their blind. Their phone, lights up, and oh, well, here comes my target buck down trail A. I should get ready. So some states are even saying, well, now you can't even use them for scouting purposes. So the guys are like, okay, well, fuck you. I'll pull on my trail cameras and I'll get a drone and I'll start just flying a drone from my blind. Oh, here comes a buck. Land the drone and wait for the buck to come in. So now there's some states that are even making specific laws against utilizing drones while you're deer hunting.
I had not heard that.
Hmm.
Wow. Like we have some game cameras that are cellular. I bought these things. Got like 8 of them. It was a lot of money, and I've never set them up. I've never taken them out of the box. I'm hoping they still work. Now they're going to
Kind
outlaw them
of
before I can
like
get a
your
chance.
coyote collar.
No, actually, I forgot that. So, we had hunting here. Like hunting just wrapped up,
Hmm.
and one night I was out, and normally it's been my experience. I thought the coyotes kind of lay low during hunting season because there's a lot of gut piles and stuff. But man, like the coyotes at the John 1911 range, they were kicking it one night. I mean,
Hmm.
there was two. It was like the worst case scenario. Two groups of them, probably 600 yards apart, and I'm between them both. And it sounded like there could have been 50 of them.
Yeah.
It was just like, holy shit! Like, what's going on? And they were running something down. It was during gun season.
It
I
could
was
have been a
like,
wounded deer, or it could have been any other normal game. Uh, the gut piles get usually cleaned up pretty quick by the coyotes.
mhm.
That kind of will give you an indication of what the small game population is around there, because if your gut piles are disappearing overnight, then a lot of times that means the small game population is kind of on a declined year. Uh, we've When I hunted in Iowa, we'd hunt the same because we do deer drives, so we'd hunt the same properties, day in, day out. And we'd shoot, 3, 4 deer in this section on this drive, and we'd field dress the deer, and there'd be, three gut piles, just boom, 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 right there. Come back next day, and there's just a little red spot in the snow. Everything is picked clean and gone. And but years, when they say the rabbit population was down and such as that, you might see a gut pile from the first day that was still there on the 10th day of the season. It's just, kind of goes cyclic like that. But no, they're super active during deer season around here anyway.
Yeah. Have you ever? I see these because I'm now that I'm getting the range more active. Like we had a part of the reason why I was busy is I've had two separate PD groups come through the range, and I've kind of shut down the shooting during gun season just to kind of be a little considerate. But obviously, if a PD wants to shoot, then they get to shoot.
Yeah.
Um, and but I see these videos on the internet where dudes are calling in coyotes during the day.
Hmm.
Is that only something you can get away with out west in the plains, or you think dudes can do that east of the Mississippi where we're at?
Well, you could definitely do it there, especially if you've got snowfall. If you've got snow on the ground, you can. Uh, that's how. If like when I lived in Iowa, we ran them with trucks, which was perfectly legal. And
Not here. It's not. Well, maybe I don't know.
the way our terrain was set up, it worked really good because most of our ground is in 1 mile sections. So we'd send a couple trucks, following this ditch down through the middle of the section, and the coyote would get up and take off running. And we had CBs, and there'd be like a truck at each corner, and maybe one in the middle of each side. And
I mean, you guys hunting a coyote sounds like a scene out of Deliverance. That's not how it works around here.
uh,
Basically, all the shit's in the woods, and you sit and you call, and something pops up, and you shoot it.
no, it was more like Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom meets the Dukes of Hazzard.
Okay, well, okay, all right.
Because then coyotes can cover a lot of ground really quick. So if you're on the, say, the north quarter mile fence line, and the coyotes headed to the southeast quarter mile fence line, and you're the only truck on that side of the road, it's kind of a drag race and a shooting adventure all in one. And people that aren't hunters will go, "Oh my God, that's not very sportsmanlike. It's just slaughtering coyotes." Coyote probably wins 30, 35% of the time because they get across that road before you can get there, and they get into a section you don't have permission to be in. And sometimes, I swear to God, the aliens just abduct them.
Yeah.
We'll lose sight of a coyote. We'll put guys out there, run the track, and it just disappears. Can't
Huh.
explain it. Don't know if they crawl in a hole somewhere or what, but you can track this thing a mile and a half across a 2 mile section. All of a sudden, it's just gone.
Hmm.
It's a
And this is
blast.
all this is all during the day.
Yeah. Yep. Soon as we get snow cover, there was a group of us that we went out every day because I worked second shift, so we'd head out at first light, and people would jump in, jump out as they had to go to work or got off work or whatever. We'd do it every single day there was snow.
Well, why does snow make a difference?
because you can actually see the coyote. Because if it's running across a pick cornfield and there's no snow, well, you got a brown object running across brown ground, you'll never see them. When you got
Oh,
snow
okay.
cover, you can see those things running across a cornfield a half mile away.
I mean, we had 4.5 inches of snow, but it's all already gone. It's gone. I mean,
Yeah.
like it's already, yeah, it was gone. It was gone in a day and a half. So
Not
I don't
here. It
know.
was
Yeah.
6 degrees this morning.
Holy shit! Really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was dig through 6 inches of Carhartt for 2 inches of pecker weather.
Okay. Well, yeah, we're not that cold yet. We're like 28 degrees, 30 degrees, 32 degrees. Let's see. Like right now, outside it is 25. The low is 24. So it's not. I mean, it's below freezing, but it's not crazy cold.
Yeah.
We're not getting down to single digits like you are. So you're getting that Canadian cold air.
Yeah, it's pushed through. You might get it tomorrow, but it's pushed through, so we're back to more seasonal, high in the low 20s, so which is good because we're making all the local lakes and ponds are pretty much iced over. I wouldn't walk on the ice yet, but for being this early in the season completely iced over is kind of unusual. So,
No, that's right. And you're getting ready to ice fish.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
I need some content. And hey, you
Go
know
go
what?
out in
I'm
the
not
middle
gonna.
of a lake, drill a hole in the ice, and sit there for hours just staring at it.
I'm gonna. I'm
At
gonna
least that's
make
what my
that.
wife thinks we're doing.
I'm gonna. I don't know. Could you get Pornhub out on the lake or whatever all the kids watch? I don't know. Can That's a joke. That's a joke. Everybody, relax. It's a joke. Um. Uh.
Well, there's a little backstory to that, though. It's you have to kind of understand the ice fisherman mindset. Hey, honey, you want to go ice fishing? Oh, God, no, it's only 10 degrees out. Oh, I understand that. I'm still going to go. I'll see you later. What they don't realize is I have an insulated tip over hut with a heater and a comfortable chair and a power ice auger. And once I get everything set up, give it 10 minutes, I can fish in blue jeans and a sweatshirt for 10 degrees outside. And I can do that all day and be comfortable. But we don't tell our wives that because then they want to go.
Shh. Don't- I didn't. Well, so I'm sitting here like, damn,
Man code, not
ice
supposed to
fishing
share
sounds
that.
ice fishing starting to sound really nice right now. So,
Yep.
huh?
So my wife's like, you dumbass, you could sit there all day and stare at a little 10-inch hole in the ice. Yep, that's what we do.
Anybody bring like I don't know? Can you bring? Well, okay, all right. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about ice fishing.
Yes, we bring our iPads and watch football.
Okay, I was just going to ask, can
I'll,
you guys
I'll,
watch
I'll watch.
football?
I'll have my iPad in the blind this weekend watching Army Navy while I'm deer
So
hunting.
I just didn't know. I saw you posted a Go Navy thing on the Facebook page. Was it that this morning?
Well,
Um,
I had to draw first blood.
yeah, I gotta go through and get ready for Army Navy games. Um, so I just didn't know like with ice fishing if it's like deer hunting, like do the fish hear the football game and so they don't come near the hole, or
No,
it
they
doesn't
don't.
matter. They don't care. Okay,
Yeah, they're all Navy fans anyway, so
no, it's okay. True.
the fish
Touche.
like Navy.
Touche. Touche. So, all right. Well, okay. Well, if you do some ice fishing, and I'm gonna kick you a little bit because I'm not just kicking you. I'm kicking all the creators, all the content creators for the website. If you're going to send me pictures of something that you're doing, you've got to send me a blurb right up with it. You got to send me something. Like you got to, even if it's just like 3 sentences, you got to send me a blurb. You just
Yeah.
can't send me pictures. Be like, hey, look at this cool shit. Because I can't write your articles for you. So just as my editor coming out, just
Well,
saying,
I
like,
thought I had perfect. I figured out how to get my camera set up perfect. I got a remote to turn the camera on my phone. Deer's coming in last night just like he was supposed to. I touched the shot off, go back to look at video. Son of a bitch, he's about 3 foot to the left of the tree that borders the left side of the framing on my camera. It's like
holy shit.
all you got was the kaboom and the white smoke and nothing else. I was like, God
You
damn
tried
it.
you tried to actually get a deer shot on film.
Uh-huh.
Holy shit. Okay. All right. Well, keep doing that. Well, I guess the gun season's is gun season over out there now.
Well, kind of. Rifle season for buck tags is over. Now I'm hunting muzzleloader. I have a buck tag for muzzleloader season, and I've got all December to do that. And then I've
Hmm.
got 4 management tags for doe only for the first 2 weeks of January.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so my
Well,
goal is to get on video a deer kill.
okay. I want that bad. I
I thought
see
I had
these
the perfect
dudes.
one yesterday, but all you got was the white poof of smoke.
Yeah, I see these dudes, these videos, and these coyotes, and they're coming in, and then like the coyotes like, "Durr," and
Flip
I'm
over
so,
backwards.
I am so, I will publish game kills all day, all over the John1911 website if we can get them. My goal is this year, over the next 12 months, is to start shooting game on video at the range and publishing stuff myself.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's, because you and we bought that little thermal thing, and I've got the little whatever call thing, and I'm gonna even try doing some of it during the day, and then I'm gonna try to set up more hunting at the range, and even I'm producing some of it.
Hmm.
So anything I can get on film, I think would be worthwhile. And and again, I have a personal grudge against coyotes, so like it's crazy. The coyote, like you guys talk about, like, oh yeah, we see a coyote from a mile away, and 30% of the time he wins, and I'm like, motherfucker, goddamn coyotes are out here like a Somali boat people. Like it's crazy the amount of coyotes we have at the range. Like it's literally, if like if you're a small child walking out there, I'd be afraid for your life.
Coyotes are pretty adaptable. When I lived in Omaha, uh, I lived in a development on the western edge of town. So when we first built the house, across the road was still cornfield. So we had it was actually a big drainage ditch. Looked like perfect pheasant habitat if it was out in the country, but it butted up against a big set of railroad tracks with timber running, down the edge of the railroad tracks. And we get coyotes running up and down the backyard all the time.
Okay. Um. All right. Well,
Fluffy the
let's work
cat
on some.
disappeared.
Let's yeah. Well, that's typically how it starts. Is one of the
Yeah.
neighbors will, like, then all of a sudden everyone's interested in coyote hunting. So, all right. Well, I want to talk about some more things been going on. I have officially christened the Bullseye Range at the John 1911 property. I started shooting the the there's a did I show it to you when you were in town? There's a single stack Wilson Experior
Hmm.
two-tone gun
Yep.
that we've got from Wilson. So it's like a traditional 1911, but 9 millimeter, but it's cut for a red dot, and
Hmm.
it's threaded for a suppressor. Well, I finally started shooting that. I mounted I got an SRO for it, a one MOA, got that mounted. I was kind of surprised. I've never mounted, like, all the SROs that I have on, because they're Wilson 1911s. Wilson's mounted them,
Yeah.
so it's like, I had to go buy one. Let me do it myself, and It comes, I guess, the SRO comes with two sets of screws. It comes with like regular screws and then like Glock screws. And I was like, well, I don't need the Glock screws. I'll just need the regular screws. So I go to put them into the mounts, or to screw the red dot to the slide, and the screws are too long. It turns out, and unless I'm somehow mistaken, if someone from, I don't know, Wilson or whoever will correct me, I ended up using the Glock screws on the SRO. So if you're a 1911 guy that's mounted SROs to your slides, are you using the shorter Glock screws, or are you using the standard screws? Did I somehow screw this up? Or I'm like, man, I was even looking. I pulled it out. And I'm looking down the hole, and I'm the thread. I'm like, man, that hole's pretty shallow. I think it needs the shorter screws. So
Yeah.
I got that done. So I started zeroing it out, and um, started just breaking the gun in. It was snowing. It was 4.5 inches of snow. So I just, well, I'm not going to go down to the pit. I'm just walking out, boom, 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 doing some function stuff, shooting groups, zeroing the red dot. and doing all that. And it was kind of cool getting the Bullseye Range functional since I've got all the benches and everything set up. So there's going to be more, I would say, targets. Finally, there's going to be more, not only hunting, there's going to be more target style shooting, video content on top of the drills and the whatever. So, but actually, as an aside, this is what I'm about to say is going to sound crazy to the listener, but it's bugging the hell out of me, and I guess I'm just too honest. And this is I'm just going to do it, okay? Because I'm talking about this two-tone Wilson 1911 Experior. I was going through our records. It's coming to be the end of the year. I got the accountants kind of fired up, doing everything and kind of going through all the stuff. And maybe I've misplaced the paperwork and we haven't gone through everything yet. But I cannot find a record that we paid Wilson for this gun. And I emailed my contact at Wilson over a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, going, hey, this Experior, because I'm starting to shoot it, it's like now going to be fired. It's not sitting unfired. I'm like, I need to make sure we pay for this fucking thing. And I haven't heard back from them. And so I'm literally like, did we pay them for this gun? So if someone from Wilson is listening to this, if you could just, assuage my guilt, hey, if you're doing me a solid, I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. Thank you. But if we owe you money and for some reason you think we're not paying you, I would love to pay you for this gun. You know how to get a hold of us. But I don't remember paying. But I had a bunch of guns. We did the Project One gun came in, then this gun came in, and it came in at the same time. And then there was all this construction stuff going on. It's been a crazy year, and it's just like I don't remember if I paid for this or not. And it's just weird. Because, in disclosure, I'm not saying anything I'm not going to say anything right now that isn't known, or maybe it isn't known in the industry. But for example, this is a known thing. So we don't get guns for free. We buy it. The joke is we have over here, if we want your shit, we'll buy your shit. But we've contacted Wilson because there's been things that we've been interested in. And they will give us a T&E gun. And so basically it is they're like, okay, this is the gun we want. We're interested in it. We're legitimately interested in it because we're going to shoot the shit out of it. And then they give it to us temporarily for, say, 3. It's usually defined for a period of months, maybe 3 months, maybe 4. But I remember we've done that with them where it went 3 months. And then maybe it got to 4 and they called and they were like, yo, you got to pay for this. Or you got to send it back. And I haven't gotten a call on this two-tone gun. I don't remember if I've paid for this one when I paid for the other one, or, I don't want someone thinking that I'm stealing your shit. Okay, I would like to not have to send the gun back to you since you built it for us and you don't make it anymore. So if you guys could, just check and see if I owe you, I don't know, $4,000 for this gun, that would be fantastic. So because I'm shooting it now and so it's no longer new. All right, enough of that. Let's see what else is going on. You want to talk about some industry news?
Sure.
Breaking tonight. I saw it. It could have been today, but I saw it tonight. I was out running around all day. You're not, dude. Apparently, the Swiss military is adopting the SIG P220 as their service pistol.
Did you say 220?
No,
320.
320. SIG. They're adopting the 320 as their service pistol.
Oh boy.
And it's like, what the hell is going on right now? How is that even possible? This is according to, as reported by the Firearms blog. Let's see if they time-stamped it. It's in Was it Swiss? Hold on. Come on, guys. Don't give me this never-ending article. I hate the never-ending article. Swiss Army will become the 5th military to adopt the SIG P320 as its standard issue sidearm alongside Australia, Canada, Denmark, and the United States. Armas Suisse, Switzerland's Federal Office for Defense Procurement, has announced the selection of the SIG P320 to replace the P75, which is the 6-hour P220. Localized production is often a key factor in militaries selecting weapons systems, and the Armas Suisse statement announced that, quote, the manufacturer 6-hour has assured that production will be set up in Switzerland. Oh, I'm just now reading this. This complies with armament policy strategy of the Federal Council to retain and set up security-relevant industrial capabilities in Switzerland. Dude, do you know what this means, right? There's a potential now to be 2 categories of P320 floating around in the world. The American P320 that's trying to kill you, and then the Swiss-made P320 that's perfect and never has a problem. That will develop.
That might get interesting. Now,
That could get, yeah, go ahead.
the question I would have then, are they going to carry the 320 variant or like our M17, M18 variant with thumb safety?
Ooh, there's a picture again, but I don't know what this article is. They've taken a compact 320, I think with a pushy frame, and they overlaid it onto the Swiss flag. Let me click. There's a link to an announcement. So I'm now on the Arma Swiss website. It says 320. Let's see, from the pre-evaluation short list. Let's see here. Pistols from 3 manufacturers were selected for the subsequent in-depth examination in 2024. The Glock G45 Gen 5, H&K SFP9, which is the VP9, and the SIG P320. Evaluation to short list. Test showed that only the Glock met all of the mandatory criteria and was classified as suitable for use by the troops. Fuck me, really? However, an overall arms policy and economic, this is on their website. This isn't a news site. It revealed substantial advantages on the model SIG P320. Cost benefit analysis. It's the life cycle. I'm trying to see if there's anything about RFPs as far as thumb safeties or external safeties. Reflections lie within realistic parameters, requirements, procurement. First law, let's see, hold on. The requirement of the Swiss Armed Forces regarding new service pistol is for 140,000 weapons. The first 50,000 is to be requested for procurement with Armed Forces Dispatch 26. It is not clear. So if you have access or knowledge of what's going on with the Arma Suisse service pistol, and if you know whether it has an external thumb safety, I'm sure Mongo would know. If it has an external thumb safety or something on it, leave in the comments below or send me a message, podcast at John1911.com, or the other 5 emails I've got. But podcast at John1911.com, and we'll follow up in the comment section on the website. Holy shit. There's going to be enter player 2 on the SIG. So, okay, wait a minute. So is it possible? Think about this. Is it possible? So is the problem with the SIG, is it the fire control group or is it elements of the striker assembly?
Well, I don't think anybody's really come up with a definitive answer to that yet.
I think for some reason I'm thinking it's more like the striker assembly, because they change, like whenever they come up with changes for things, it seems like they're working on the top end of the gun. Mm-hmm. Well, if the fire control group is the gun, and Switzerland is making 320 complete guns, could you get Swiss made 320 top ends, striker systems and whatever, and import them?
Do you run into importation issues with that though?
It's gun parts. It'd be no different than cutting the gun up and bringing it in. You import gun parts kits all the time. It's
Well,
not the
yeah,
frame.
yeah.
It's a parts kit. You know, like with JDI, the company that brings in all the 550s, 551s.
Hmm.
I don't know. Like,
Well,
this
yeah. I
could
mean, if
be
it's not the
interesting.
FCU, because I mean, in America, the fire control unit is considered the firearm itself.
Hmm. Well, the thing is, in Europe, and a lot of people, as a matter of fact, there was an article I saw and I forgot about it. Was it California? Somebody's passed a law that's going to go into effect on the 1st. I think it's California. And they're requiring serial numbers on the barrels because they're trying to combat the ghost gun, the
Hmm.
3D printed guns, because the barrel is really something that's kind of hard to, anyone can make a barrel that shoots a few times. You kind of have to kind of know what you're doing to make a barrel that can survive repeated use and not crack, but also
Yeah,
not blow up. You don't want it to crack and you don't want it to blow up, and you don't want it to shoot itself into a smooth bore in 15 shots either. So there's a balance there. And it takes a little bit of skill that I think is beyond the ability of most 3D printing companies. And so my point is, like I get Blaser barrels from Europe for all these Blaser rifles, and every one of these barrels has a unique serial number on it. The barrel is controlled as a firearm. I mean, it's controlled. It's a controlled item.
yeah.
And I think Israel is the same way. If you're caught with a barrel in Israel and you don't have a license for it, I think it's a gun charge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's because it's a controlled item. That's why
Yeah.
they're serialized. And it's interesting. I don't know what they do in Switzerland. I mean, well, wait a minute. Don't every Glock I've ever seen has a serialized barrel,
Hmm.
quote, a matching barrel. They serialize the barrels. Yeah,
Yep.
because they sell them in Europe. Yeah, it is a controlled item. You may not there might be some items you may not get. But really, I think the only thing that you would really would make the difference on the 320 would be that striker assembly in the upper.
Yeah.
And that's not serialized, I don't think. I mean, it might be, but I don't think it's controlled. That could be interesting. That could be really interesting. So, all right. So yeah, the Swiss. Anyway, Swiss. I just couldn't believe it. In
The
other
plot
news,
thickens.
and look, everybody gives me shit on this. It's not the best shotgun in the world. It's not the best shotgun ever made. It's not the best shotgun in service. But the U.S. government, let me see here. The U.S. government has issued an $11 million contract to Mossberg for 590A1 shotguns, like again, like in December
Uh-huh.
of 2025. They're buying $11 million worth. I mean, like, that's a lot of Mossbergs. And it's the Army. It's not the Marine Corps. It's the Army.
I'm a big fan of the 590 myself.
I am too.
We had 590s and 870s in the armory when I was in the Navy, and the 590s are a little harder to disassemble and assemble. There's a few more moving parts to them. Uh, but I'll tell you what, we shot the ever loving piss out of them and never had a problem with either one. The nice thing with the 590 is it's got the Tang safety on it, so lefties and righties don't have the near the issue with engaging and disengaging the safety as you would say on an 870. But they're rock solid guns. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
there's some kind of issue with the Mossberg where if you drop it in a certain if you drop it, you can the legs of the lifter can get displaced and jam up the gun or something. I don't remember exactly how that worked. Something with like the lifter.
yeah.
Um, like I can't remember exactly how that. Like maybe if you racked it open and then you dropped it on the ground, the lifter could become. If you dropped it flat, I remember it was like that was all the rage of like trying to shit on the Mossberg years ago.
Uh-huh.
But I'll have to look into it. But let's see here. The oldest family owned. Let's see here. The military's nearly 40-year love affair with the Mossberg 590 pump action is no end in sight. The oldest family-owned firearms manufacturer in America announced this week that the Army has awarded it an approximately $11.6 million contract for additional 590A1 shotguns. It is unclear if the award is an extension of the $19 million maximum value contract for 17-inch 590s issued in September. But either way, the Army is getting a lot more 12-gauge Mossies.
I wonder what the theory is on that. What the application's going to be.
Well, there's a couple things. There's riot control, less lethal. There's all of those typical, other than standard warfare, policing, urban, whatever, reconstruction type of possibilities to do things. But it might even you could even have a situation where maybe it's a stopgap for the drone stuff. You're starting to see shotguns, being employed in Ukraine. You're starting to see within like a rifle squad a shotgunner or somebody with a shotgun. If a small drone is getting that close, last ditch, that somebody's shooting you with a shotgun. And like these are cheap and they're not ammo sensitive. You know what I mean? Because like like the thing is like with with a pump over these semi-autos, I think some of the issues you could run into is I think there's a possibility that the shotgun could make a resurgence on the battlefield as a last ditch anti-drone gun. Again, because I think drones are going to become so advanced, they're going to be like Terminators. They're going to be very hard to kill. But I think initially you could have a situation where somebody's making, like special shells that are bigger or whatever that are, maybe you can single load them where, you can maybe finagle it into a pump where you probably can't get that thing to cycle in and out of a semi-auto. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think you could retrofit a pump a lot easier to accept something kind of custom and crazy, an anti-drone round, than a semi-auto, because at the end of the day, the human's operating the pump.
Well, and just the plain cost too. I mean, you can probably put 3 590s in the field for one Benelli M4 price wise.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The
590 series famously withstood the military's grueling mil-spec 3443E testing protocol for riot-type shotguns, which included running 3,000 rounds with fewer than few malfunctions. Well, one thing that I think is interesting, when you came last time you were out here, we didn't get a chance to play with it. Did you bring your Mossberg with the new 590s with the wood furniture?
Yep.
And we didn't get to play with it.
It's an A1. It's a retro 590 A1, so it has the same finish, the actual same recoil pad, the same finish on the wood, the same checkering pattern as the 590s we had back in the 80s. I mean, it's a spitting image to what I worked on in the 80s.
So does the trigger guard on their retro gun have a metal trigger guard or a plastic trigger guard?
Metal.
Okay, because I have a 590. I don't know if it's an A1 or not, but I've had this gun. I mean, I hate to say this. I mean, it's got to be close to 40 years. I mean, I'm 54 years old. I mean, it's got. I mean, I've absolutely had this gun over 30 years, and it has a plastic trigger guard. It has a plastic trigger group, and it had a plastic safety, and I upgraded it with a Bang Comp safety. So, but I tell you what, we didn't get it. I don't think we got a chance to play with your 590 retro, and I really want one of those guns. I think that wood looks so good. That corncob forend.
I love it.
I don't need it, but I want it. I don't need another shotgun, but I want that shotgun.
That's kind of where I was with it. I saw it in a big box sporting goods store. I wasn't even aware they had reintroduced it. And I was like, holy crap, is that from back in no, it can't be from back in the 80s because this one had the ghost ring sights on it and we didn't have those back then.
Mm-hmm.
And did a little research. It's like, oh no, they've reintroduced it. It's a repop. So I went up and grabbed one up. I mean, it's a beast. It's true to form. It's metal trigger guard, metal tang safety.
They're 20-inch.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
yeah,
because
that's what I've got.
they make a 590 that's an eight, I think an 18. It doesn't have the extended magazine though.
Okay, yeah, the 20 has the extended tube on it.
Yeah, I've got the extended tube version.
Yeah, mine's a 20 as well.
Yeah.
So the 590, the retro 590 that you had back in the day, do you mean in the Navy or do you mean on the police force?
No, in the Navy we had 870s and 590s in the armory,
Okay. And the
and
590s had wood furniture?
ours did. Now the ones that the Marines carried that were gate guards at Naval Base Norfolk,
Mm-hmm.
they were synthetic 590s.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw wood 590s back then. I always saw like I'd see Marines when they were all synthetic.
Mhm.
I don't
You
think I've ever
literally
seen
you
a
take
wood.
the one I've got, you take the ghost ring sights off of it and just put a bead on the barrel, and it's the spitting image of what we had in the armory.
Hmm. Has anybody out there tried? Because like here's the kick on the wood 590. It's like my heart loves the wood and the corn cob, but my brain tells me I need to get a light on the gun. So I
Mhm.
guess maybe I just clamp one up there on the front end. Like, have you seen, since you're a shotgun guy, like you actually know how to run shotguns. I don't.
Mhm.
I just fuck with them. Have you seen anybody actually mounting a light
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
effectively on a retro 590 with the wood forend and like have it
Not
be useful?
necessarily on a 590, but they make universal barrel clamps for extended magazine shotguns.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like a figure eight, and then it's got a little pick rail on the side of it,
Yeah,
and you can put a WML on it with a coil cord. And
yeah,
if you buy a quality one, uh, I've had some not had any issues. I bought some cheap Amazon barrel clamps, and you just throw them away; they're junk. But you put a good quality one on, it'll work. Uh, but you get back to that by the time you buy the flashlight and the barrel clamp, and you monkey around with it, and you Velcro the coil cord, you could just turn around and get a integrated weapons mounted light into the fore end and swap it out and be done.
yeah. That's what I've got on my 590. I don't even know where the original forend is, plastic forend, but I've got one of those. It was an Insight integrated lights.
Mhm.
And it's on my 590. It's in the I used to keep it, like by my bed and everything, but with all the construction and everything, it's been downloaded and put up in the armory for a couple years now. But
Yeah.
for that gun, literally was my kept it in my closet for 30 years. That was my claw. I was like that was my long gun. That was my backup gun.
Mhm.
I need to kind of get it back out. So I'm just kind
Yeah.
of here. Look, I'm looking at a picture of a retro 590 on my phone, going, "Damn, I need one of those." Um, and I wish we'd played with it when you brought it. I
I'll
think
bring
you
it out
showed it
next
to
time.
me. You showed it, but then we fucked around
We
with all
just
this
ran
other
out of
stuff
time. Yeah.
and didn't get it shot. So, and I got to start maybe coming out your way too a little bit. So that's
I
kind of
still haven't shot it. I'm not gonna modify it in any way. I'm gonna leave it completely stock just for sentimental value. I've got a
yeah.
I've got an 870 though. I'm gonna get on the Wilson website and gonna Wilsonize this 870 as soon as January 1st rolls around and I get my stamp back on it.
Well, I'd hold off on buying anything from Wilson. They may send you a bill for $5,000. I don't know. Better. Hey, it's
I'll
a
just
Kraken from
forward it to
John
you. I'll just
1911.
forward it to you.
Yeah, it's like I'm like I've never been in a situation where I'm like, did we buy this gun or not? I don't even remember. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'll just
Hmm.
call them up and said, "Hey, Marky said to send me some sites and just put it on his bill.
Hey, look, in my defense, I'm like, I sent an email and I'm like, man, maybe the guy doesn't work there anymore. I'm like, I don't know, like just so weird. Like I have a gun company, just like, I don't know. So, all right, well, anyway, we'll get off this. So anyway, the Mossberg 590, I thought that was interesting. Did you see that? I guess, um, the Glock V pistols are out because Glock got rid of the Gen 5 because of the switches.
Mhm.
And then before the V's even hit, they've made switches for the V's. Have you seen that, right?
I've seen it. I haven't seen any validation that it's an actual working switch and just not something AI generated, but
Oh,
it
I've
it
seen
doesn't
them.
surprise me. I mean, as soon as you could get your hands on the new Glock, I'm sure people started tinkering with it and started trying to figure out how to 3D print switches that would work.
But here's the thing, it's like, okay, well, if you sue Glock, because Glock, is trying not to get sued or whatever, and it's
Mhm.
like, well, the truth is the ultimate defense. We changed it, and you assholes still fucking, did this. It's like it's not a us problem; it's a you problem. Well, I mean, if I was Glock, I'd be like, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like that's a border patrol government law. Well, that doesn't sound like a Glock problem. We spent, I don't know how much money Glock spent doing this, but now there's switches for these V's. And it's like, I mean, I don't know, like in any court case, civil, preponderance of the evidence, civil case, like, yeah, we spent $3 million tooling up and designing and testing and so we could make a new generation of an interim model, even not even actual generation.
Yeah.
It was all out of sequence and we had to spend more money, and here we are. So yeah, fuck you. I mean, seriously, fuck you. Like whatever. Like at some point, and at what point, this does beg the question with the NFA. Like there was, okay, just as an example, there was a problem. The NFA had a problem. And the biggest problem the NFA had for a long time was it took so long to get approval or denial for anything on the NFA list category that it was becoming unconstitutional. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Well, so then so they had to fix that, and but they claim it was for other reasons, but no, that's the real reason. Because if you have to wait 18 months to to exercise your rights, there's no way that's going to withstand. That's a effective, you know, banning and gun control beyond what the Constitution,
Yeah.
reasonable, whatever. Well, okay, one of the arguments that was made in defense of the AR-15 is that it is America's rifle at this point. It's common. It's in use by everybody. There's probably, I don't know, 500 companies that make AR-15s in America. Like
Probably.
actual I mean, maybe more, maybe 1,000. Like, between mom and pop people that make ARs to giant companies. I mean, like the AR is ubiquitous as alcohol. Like, I mean, it's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
America's rifle, right? So it's not like this, this exogenous, exotic, crazy, out of bounds thing that, that they could kind of deem like, hey, like we can't have this fucking. Well, it's like a nuclear weapon. Like everyone can't have fucking nuclear weapons, but everybody can make nuclear weapons. If there's 1,000 companies making nuclear weapons, that everybody can walk around a nuclear weapon in their closet. It's no longer a crazy exotic thing. Well,
Mhm.
we're in a situation now. If you think about this legally, or if you're arguing the constitutionality of the NFA, Madam Justice, let me explain to you what's going on right now with machine guns in America. The police can have all the machine guns they want, and they do. The federal government can have all the machine guns they want, and they do. The military can have all the machine guns they want, and they do. And criminals have so many machine guns and more every day that it's effectively the same thing. And the only people that can't have machine guns at this point are law-abiding citizens. This is an insane situation.
Yeah.
It's insanity at this point. I mean, everybody is better armed than the law-abiding citizen of the United States at this point. And in no way was that supposed to be how this worked.
Well, and that's the whole gun control argument right there. Uh, when states and municipalities start trying to pass different laws, you can have this, you can't have that. There's a waiting period.
Mm-hmm.
This magazine capacity isn't legal in California, what have you. It's the default legal argument of the only people that are following that law are law-abiding citizens. Everybody else in the world has that stuff. The bad guys all have that stuff because they don't fill out 4473s. They buy it off the street. So the only person that you're making a lawbreaker is the guy trying to follow the law.
But it's not even a situation where it's like it's contraband that's being brought in. It's now to the point that people are making these on their own. Like they're just creating them. And so, it's like I don't know, I don't know how many of these switches are out there. But would it be safe to assume, like if we had to put a number on it, and you can, if you have enough data, you can extrapolate. I don't have access to the data. But just an example, would it be safe to say that every day in America, 500 Glock switches are created, legally and illegally? Well,
I would
for this argument, illegally. Let's say 500 a day, and that's a lot. Well, I don't know. Between New York and LA and Houston and Miami and Chicago, then you just start throwing in like Sacramento and, some of these other places, and you're like, okay, and like, fucking Memphis and some in Atlanta and some of these crazy places. I mean, is 500 new machine guns a day like unrealistic? Well, if it's 500 a day, well, hold on. If it's 500 a day, so that's 182,000 machine guns a year.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the NFA only has transferable machine guns. I think the NFA only has 400,000 machine guns on the NFA that are transferable in total. And a lot of that shit is it's crew served. I mean, it's not, you can't carry it. You can't conceal it. You can't really, it's an enthusiast gun. But if there's 500 a day, that's 182,000 machine guns every year now circulating in the country. This is becoming untenable. Like from an idea of, well, it's now in our interest, like the interest of the compromise the Supreme Court likes to make is, well, there are limitations. There are things we do as a society. We put limits on things for the benefit of society as a whole.
Yeah.
Well, the limitations have failed. And now everybody seems to have them, but the good guys, and I mean the good guys, not the cops, I mean the good guys in the Constitution, which is the citizen.
Yep.
It's insane. Like this is and nobody's talking about this. Not even the gun experts, like the lawyers on the internet or in the industry, are like this idea that machine guns are, it's like the abortion. We want to make abortion safe, legal, and rare. Well, ain't nothing rare about machine guns anymore. Everybody seemed to got them. And while we're on that subject, Do you know anything about FRTs? Have you followed that at all? Because I really haven't.
Just a little bit. Uh, I've got a couple buddies that have them. I've shot them. Didn't really
Okay.
do much for me, but some
Okay.
guys
So
just go crazy over them.
you've shot an actual FRT, like you've had it in your hand and you've shot
Hmm.
it.
Yep.
So explain to me, because I've never used one or held one or actually seen one. So is it okay? Is it just it's not like a binary trigger where it's like a shot on the pull and a shot on the release, right? Is it just, does it enable you, does it reset faster so you can pull it faster? But most people can't pull. It's not the reset that's keeping most people from being able to pull a trigger faster.
Mhm.
Now, is there another button that you have to
I
hit?
I haven't dug into the mechanics of it. Uh, it was just one of those here, shoot this type things. So I thought it felt more like the binary trigger, kind of like what we did with the mini. Uh, I don't know the mechanics of them, but I know everybody and their cats snatching them up right now. For
Well,
ARs, there's a
they
AK
are.
version out there.
I saw a guy had one in a scar, and I was
Yeah.
watching him shoot it, and I was like, that looks like a machine gun. Like it was, because a lot of times these bullshit triggers, let's just be real. It's like it speeds up and it slows down because you got to do it
Mhm.
just right with your finger and all this. And it's like, come on, from a performance shooting standpoint, it's like, this is kind of bullshit. It's kind of
Yeah.
ghetto and it's crap.
Well, it's
But
like
I
the
saw
old
a guy,
belt loop bump
yeah,
firing.
yeah, and I saw a guy shooting a scar with some kind of FRT in it, and it was like, holy shit! I didn't understand how it worked or how he's doing it, but it looked like a machine gun to me. Now, most people don't want to say, don't call it a machine gun, Marky, because it's not. And this is, don't give the ammunition to the bad guys or to the opposite. But that's not what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I'm saying this. I heard a report. I was like, this can't be true. That the price of registered machine guns is declining. And I was like, it is? And it's because of the FRTs. And I was like, it is? And I looked, and I'm not going to say, like, I haven't been able to disprove if like FNCs are dropping in price. And I don't think things like, like crazy, I don't know, like maybe Schmeisers or whatever, like some kind of, or like belt feds or whatever, but it looks like the cost of transferable AR-15 M16s
Uh-huh.
has come down over the past 12 months. So much so that I'm considering maybe I should make a run at one.
Huh?
And I'm like, I've totally missed this. I had no idea this was happening. And I guess other people are making FRTs. There's something else that's called an FRT too. But I don't know anything about this. And I don't know. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you know? So if I buy an FRT and I put it in an AR in the armory, do I have to modify that lower to get this FRT into the AR?
No, it's completely drop in the way I understand it. Basically it comes in a blister pack, looks just kind of like a regular trigger, and you just drop it in the AR and off you go.
Okay, so
And there,
think about this.
and the
Go
one I
ahead.
shot was blazing fast.
Take a drink of water. Sorry. So
Oh.
okay, well hold on. So okay, like I haven't been paying attention to any of this at all because I just, like Franklin Armory and like just all these
Mhm.
crazy fucking things. I'm just like, a lot of this is crap, and I just don't pay attention to it. But it's like, okay, think about what I just said about 182,500 Glock machine pistols appearing on the streets every year in America. If there's 500 a day, but you just cut that number in half. Let's just say it's 60,000 a day. Okay. I don't know what the deal is with the FRTs. I obviously, of everybody listening to this podcast, I promise you know more than FRTs than I do. And they're screaming they're yelling right now at their computers or on their iPod, their earbuds, going, Marky, fucking works like this, you're a moron. Yes, whatever you are saying is true, and I don't know it. However, here's my point. If they're selling enough of these FRTs that it's causing machine gun prices to drop, how many of these FRTs are out there? How many are they selling every month? Because I've now heard there's more than one company making them. But here's the problem. You and I both know from what I've seen from FRTs, as soon as a Democrat gets in office, executive order, ATF, register them, we're going to ban them, they're going to try to do some bullshit with them, right? They'll try to do something to get rid of them.
And it'll wind up tied up in court, kind of like bump stocks, and there you go.
Well, now wait a minute. But one of the arguments in court is the argument for banning the FRT is going to be the same argument for banning the AR-15. Well, this is like this is an exotic, rare, whatever thing, and that was the argument they were making against the pistol braces. And it's like, these are not exotic. There's somewhere between 400,000 and 2 million pistol braces in America. Mm-hmm. It's like, this is not some small thing that you can just snap your fingers. I mean, are they selling 100,000 FRT triggers a year? Are they selling 50,000? Because if you're telling me that there's 50,000 a year units of these a year being sold, and then at some point within 4 years or 8 years or 6 years or 12 years, they're going to try to reclassify those as machine guns. So you're going to have to reopen the NFA, and these will now be registered machine guns. And like, there's only 400,000 some machine guns on the NFA. Like, you see, like, from every angle, when you look at stuff, when you look at the FRTs, when you look at the Glock switches, when you look at all this, from every angle, the NFA is becoming more and more and more tenuous as a going concern. Like, I think this is about to fucking collapse. Like, this is getting to be crazy. And I'm not complaining, but I'm trying to figure out where I want to put my money.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to buy an FRT?
Nope. That stuff doesn't really excite me. Number one, it burns up a lot of ammo and it burns up barrels. To me, it's still kind of gimmicky. I have no use for, let's just call it full auto, even though it's not. And if I want to, do a mag dump and go out in the backyard and play a couple times, I got my little Midwell Mini 14 contraption that does the same thing, and there you go.
Okay, so
I don't have any interest in it.
The argument you just made against the FRT is the argument that most people made about Class 3 firearms, about machine guns before 1986, because you and I were both there. It's like, okay, I got to get, and Ben, in 1979, $200 was a lot of money. It's like, you're telling me I got to go through all this crap, and I got to give the government $200 in 1979 money to go buy a machine gun that's going to just burn through all this ammo. And it's like, I'm not no interest in that. So the only people that really wanted them really, really wanted them. But the thing is, if you buy FRTs now and they ban them, they become registered machine guns, and so they could become more valuable and more desirable. Like, is it 1979 all over again with FRTs, and maybe I should buy 10 of these fucking things? Because I will tell you this, and again, I don't know how these work. I don't know how they're different than these binary triggers. I don't understand. But I will tell you, I saw a video of a kid shooting a SCAR with some kind of FRT in it. I'm using FRT as a placeholder. It could have been from a company that's not FRT, so I don't know. But this looked pretty controllable. Mm-hmm. Like, it looked like you could have gone turn, and really used it for something, as opposed to bump firing is just kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like, if FRTs are actually usable, where it's like, accuracy, performance, accuracy, performance, accuracy, performance, but then you've got some problem and you're like, let me give those people 15 fucking rounds. That's functionally, from a use perspective, that's as useful as a machine gun.
Yeah. The
Like,
one
I
I
think,
shot, we had a few failures to feed. Uh, can't necessarily say it was the trigger, because it was on a cheap build. Because it's one of those, if we're going to burn the barrel up, we're going to burn the barrel up on a cheap piece of shit PSA type upper. So, not necessarily was the trigger itself, but you know, we each ran a couple mags through it. Like there was 5 of us, and there was 2, maybe 3 failure to feeds. Just did a clearance drill and rocked on.
but do you
Uh,
think that's more from the gun not being set up, like not having heavy of enough buffer? That's probably not the trigger causing that. That's probably the
no,
gun
you
just running too
no, you
fast.
could. Well, it was like I said, it was a cheap PSA junk upper because we're going to smoke the barrel, so we're not going to run it on a DD because we don't want to smoke a $2,000 upper. So it could have been that. It could have been the cheap piece of shit buffer. I mean, it was a junk gun. It was an expendable gun. It was just a toy, but it was controllable. You could run bursts and shift point aim, run another burst, and shift point aim, run another burst.
Yeah, like so, and again, you're touching on another point that I think a lot of people that are gun people, but they're not machine gun people, don't understand. Like, why is an M16 a transferable M16? Typically, they become so expensive, 40,000, 50,000, like these cherry whatever, like Colt whatever guns. But
Hmm.
they're anywhere from 25 to almost 50, 40,000 for these guns. Drop in auto sears, Dias, whatever. 35,000, 40,000. It's like, why are these so expensive compared to some other things? Well, it's because in essence, it's still an AR-15. You can shoot the shit out of it and you can get parts for it. You can
Yeah.
replace the barrels. You can replace this. You can replace it. You can actually use it as a consumable and keep it running. Well, if the FRT trigger system is able to basically function as a machine gun, like it's usable, you could train with it, and now you're running a system where you can get barrels, you can keep these guns running. Again, like, you see my point, like this, just like
Hmm.
the whole ecosystem is changing, and I've opened my eyes to it. Holy shit.
It's
Like,
just
what's
making
going on here?
NFA seem more and more untenable.
Yeah, or if I want to, be negative, if I want to be the Michael Burry of machine guns, basically I would say, okay, I'm going to bet against the FRT and I'm going to go buy all the transferable machine guns I can now that are depressed AR-15 guns, M16 guns, because I know in 6 years or 8 years or 12 years or 16 years that all those FRTs are going to be banned. And then at the end of the day, they're going to either be on the NFA and they're not going to be as good as the regular machine guns, or they're going to be outright banned. And that I bought cheaper transferable machine guns that are real machine guns will go back up in value.
A lot
I'm
of
in a
a
real
lot of
conundrum here.
it's very speculative no matter which way you argue it.
Yeah, I just,
I mean, it's
I
almost a 50-50 coin toss. I could either get into them and break the bank down the road, or I could get into them and they drop even more because NFA goes away or they're so commonplace. I mean, they've gotten cheaper already. Just the FRT triggers.
how much is
Every
an FRT trigger?
uh Probably 250, maybe $300.
Oh,
Uh,
really? Okay. So it's
yeah,
like a
they're
guys. I
they're
didn't even
not.
know they were that expensive.
Yeah, no. I worked a gun show with a buddy of mine that's got an FFL. It was probably a 200 table gun show in Nebraska, and we had 2 different people approach our tables trying to sell FRTs, one for an AR, one for an AK.
Oh, people were walking around trying to sell
Yeah,
them?
yeah, yep. I'm on several. like in Signal Chat, if you know the right pages on Facebook and you know the right language to use, there's still there's still firearms buy sell trade going on Facebook. You just have to know what pages to get to and how to word it so you don't get flagged.
Hmm.
But it's probably I probably see, oh, I don't know, two or three FRT type triggers pop up. Guys wanting to sell or looking for them monthly, just local here to where I'm at.
Is it? I mean, is it just because it's on the market and some people sell like they sell everything, or is there some reason why somebody would want to buy one after market? Which wait a minute, I already know the answer. Because if you buy one used, maybe you're not on the list to get the letter later to say turn it in or else.
Oh, it's
Is it?
not even that. I mean, you can, yeah, like sporting goods stores that have them, they're just on they're just on blister packs on, hang racks on the wall. You just walk up, whip your credit card out, or throw hundreds on the table, walk out the door with it. I think what it is mostly guys are getting them, and they go out and they play with them a couple times, and then go, "Holy shit, that was $300 worth of ammo I just burned through being stupid."
Mm-hmm.
And I want something else, so I'll just pedal this and put it towards the thermal I want to buy. Or I had a buddy that sold me three of them, and he gave me a break if I bought all three, and I only need one, so I'll sell these two and make 20, $30 and still sell them below retail. That it's
Yeah.
not they're not anything special around here. I mean, if I want one, I could probably get on Facebook right now and somebody's got one, I'll sell you one.
So I can put one of these in my integrally suppressed Gemtech upper thing, and I don't have to modify anything. I don't have to cut
Mm-mm.
the receiver, nothing.
Nope, just knock your two trigger pins out and take your safety out, drop your trigger back in, put everything back together, rock on. The only thing is it's not select fire. It's a burp gun.
Yeah, you have to let it off.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So yeah, wait a minute. So it's not. So yeah, it's basically there's no single shot. It's basically
No, it's
it
a burp
shoots
gun.
until you let. Okay, that's what you're saying. So it's basically it runs so you take your finger off the trigger.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, that okay. We'll
So
see
that kind
that
of kills
that
it for me too, because I
that
if I was going to do it, I want the select fire. I want to be able to go back to single
yeah,
shot.
that kills a lot. That kills a significant amount of usability
Hmm.
or practicality for like what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Because I like the idea of still just shooting semis and performance, but having the option to go. But if I can't, well, okay. How is someone out there trying to develop a select FRT somewhere somehow? Some mad scientist?
Well, I'm sure there probably is, but then you have to wonder at that point, do you not run into NFA issues? Because at that point, are you manufacturing a machine gun? Because it's
Well,
select fire.
the definition of machine gun isn't select fire.
No, but you know how ATF tries to,
They try,
if
yeah.
you do, and that's kind of the whole crux to this conversation is what is ATF going to try in the future?
Hmm. I may have to get one of these and um, play with it. I'll put it in one of the. I don't know. I got a bunch of guns. Like we've got. Well, shit.
Hmm.
I've even got. I didn't tell you this. We have a U.S. Air Force GAL 5A aircrew survivor rifle coming in.
Oh, cool.
One of those little like take down, shove it up your ass guns.
Hmm.
Where you put it under your ejection seat, or where I don't know where it goes on the ejection seat, but
So
yeah.
what is it, 22 and 410?
No. That's the no, that's the little survival gun. There is a gun that the Air Force put an RFP out for, I don't know, about 10 years ago, where it's a 12-inch AR-15 M16, and the Air Force makes them. They put them all together. They get the parts on the private market, but they put them together. And they put them in the ejection seat, so it's a you know how, like, an AR has an upper and a lower.
Mhm.
And well, the upper on these has a collar system, so the whole barrel forward of the, I would say, kind of like where the upper receiver is, comes off. The whole forend, the forend
Okay.
and the barrel all together, it stays together, and so and then the handle on it has a hinge built into the handle, so the handle folds flat, and so you can shove this in a little package, and you can put it in an ejection seat, and
Oh,
so the idea that they can pull it out, and I think it's designed in such a way that it's easy to reassemble if you're injured. Like, let's say you have a broken arm. Like, that was one of the requirements. Like, because it's like, well, I could just take an AR-15 and just take the lower and the upper and just separate them. And it's like, well, you'd still get some long pieces, but trying to get everything, especially under ejection, to
yeah.
stay together, and then trying to get the gun together with a broken arm or injured, like, because a lot of people that eject in ejection seats, there's a good chance if you have to actually eject out of an airplane, unlike in the movies, your career might be over, man. You might be medically retired.
Yeah.
If you survive, because you could be fucked up. And like, I can't remember. There was a guy who he ejected out of he ejected, and he was talking about it later. And I think he was like an inch shorter or something. Like
From the
like I was
spinal
6.
compression.
Yeah, he's like, I was 6'1", and now I'm like 5'11 and a half. And it was like, holy fuck, really? It's like, yeah. I mean, it's oof. So yeah, maybe I'll put it. Maybe a Gal 5. That would be the perfect. Well, technically, it's a pistol because would have to SBR it because they're so short. So I'm going to get my first pistol brace gun for the reference collection. I've never had one. So maybe I'll get an FR. Look, doesn't a downed pilot deserve an FRF2 trigger? I think he does. I mean, come on. Hey, when the red commie hordes, when the Chi Coms are coming for the downed F-22 pilot, he just needs full auto all the time. Select fire my ass. That may be a video. There's a video. There's a video. So, hey, speaking, we mentioned this, and we're going long and whatever. 2 things. Industry news. Number 1, you remember how FN said they were getting rid of the SCAR? There was a big run on the SCARs. Did you see what FN did?
No, I've been off the grid for a better part of a month.
I know you have.
Like
They
literally, this is the most current events industry news ignorant I've been in years.
Well, all these people ran out and bought all these FNs and like, oh, my scars and whatever. I even thought about it. I was like, I got a SCAR 16. It's probably fine. Maybe I'll get a pistol. Well, they've now come out. They've released a new SCAR next generation. They haven't. I think they've changed. I don't know, something with. They've changed a few things, but it's still a SCAR. It's
Yeah.
a SCAR, and it's like the SCAR Gen whatever, and it's like that was kind of crappy. Like, I was like, because there's some kids that spent some money because SCARs are already expensive, and it's like I think I'll be honest with you, I think FN kind of fucked them a little bit. I think they kind of some of the guys getting too cute by half who try to play the NFA. Me.
Yeah.
The guys like, yeah, time to get that SCAR. It's like, I'm gonna pay $4,000 for it. You fuck yourself. So anyway, I thought that was. I don't know if the FN guys are actually mad. I'm sure they're not, but I thought that was funny. Hey, you like the Poverty Pony guns, right? Like, you like Anderson.
Yeah.
I mean, you like them. You fired the one Anderson here. I don't think we've done it. I don't think I've published the video.
The Dissy.
Yeah, I don't think I need to get that video up. They're going to be more shooting videos coming. Apparently, I don't know if this is what I'm about to say is actually 100% accurate, but it has to be close. So, Anderson Manufacturing is local to us, to John 1911. They're right across the river. We've talked about them. AIM Surplus is local to us. They're right up the road, right? Like, you've been there. I've taken you there. And AIM Surplus published a photograph on their social media. in their warehouse, and it was cases and cases and cases and cases of Anderson manufactured lowers. They got them. I think they got them all, and I don't know if they're up on the website yet. But if you're an Anderson and you want something, you want to be a collector, if you have a couple projects, I think I think Aim Surplus might have some cheap Anderson lowers. So they're stripped. They're completely stripped.
Well, if you see
But
them,
I
let
mean,
me know. If you see
it
them on
looked.
sale.
It was. Well, I'll show you right now. I mean, it like the photograph I saw. This is no kidding. It had to be. It had to be in the hundreds. Let's see here. Aim Surplus. Give me a second. We're going to talk and filibuster. Hopefully, the internet will.
Yeah.
Let's keep
I
looking. How
build a
far?
lot of Andersons. The difference is I put good lower parts kits in them. Same way with the uppers. I put already built decent uppers on them, not the Poverty Pony uppers or PSA uppers. But I use quality parts kits, and I haven't run them super hard, but for what I do, they're great. You know, Price point's right on them. You can take them out, beat the shit out of them. Would I carry one on duty? Probably not. I don't trust them that far, but have I had any real catastrophic failures with one? No. And I've probably built 20 of them.
Hmm. Anderson. Did they take the picture down? Let me check their Instagram. Maybe they took their. I'm not. Aim Surplus. I think they took. Oh, here we go. No, here we go. Rare collector items just arrived. This was published 6 days ago. This is their way they labeled it,
Rare collector,
and
they got 50,000 of them.
it says this is and isn't a joke, and it's a video. So that's why I couldn't see it because it's. Oh, dude, they've got. Let me see here. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 20, 30. So each box. Let's see here. 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40. 40 per box. 2, 3, 4, 4, 8, 16. Oh, they've got 300, 400 Anderson lowers,
Oh,
maybe
nice.
more, just in this one screen grab. Yeah, they've got them. So yeah, I mean,
No, I'll keep an eye
whatever.
on that.
Do you know who actually sells lowers, and they even sell like some blems that I've thought about? I've actually had talked to them about it, but I've been so busy with that, just really projects. Wilson Combat does, and I thought
Really?
about. I was like, yeah, they sell lowers,
I
and
didn't know that.
um, let's see, how do you spell Anderson? Is it Anderson or is it something weird?
ERSON. You had it right.
Okay, I don't know if like Anderson or no
No,
thanks.
common
Anderson
spelling.
Manufacturing. Okay, here we go. Anderson Manufacturing AIM 15 multi-cal lower receiver. They are selling them. They've sold at least 267 of them because they got reviews on them. They're $39 a piece.
At
They were
AIM right now?
40 at AIM right now,
Holy
and I know
crap.
full fencing. If I know. I mean, dude, you know what? Buy one, get an FRT, get on that ATF list. You know, give me some dispatches from jail. Come on.
Hey, Marky, I got a problem. I need a lawyer. Why? I listen to
Yeah.
you.
I have more lawyers than I have friends, unfortunately. I'm trying to change that life. I'm trying to have more friends. But that's why you're here, by the way. I realized I need more friends in life. I've got to like really. That's literally one of my goals for 2026. I'm going to be more social and like to have more friends and be more open to doing things. I've spent too much of the last 30 years not, so that's changing. So yeah. So anyway, I'll send this to you now.
Yeah, I'm gonna order up some of them. because I
I
can
knew
I
you
can build
would.
a lower. I can build a lower in 15, 20 minutes, and that's kind of
You're
remember my saying a can of corn gun. Stripped
yeah.
AR lowers are like a can of corn to me. I just don't feel right if I don't have 2 or 3 stripped lowers laying in the toolbox.
Keep them set back. So,
Yep.
well, you know what? We've been going for an hour and a half. We're gonna skip the blotter and the rest of it. This is just shaking the dust off, talking about everything. So, anything
Yeah.
else you want to discuss or talk about before we? I mean, I've got all kinds of stuff. January 6th and the pipe bomb thing, and I've got great blotters, and I got stuff on media, and we'll do it. We'll do another podcast here like a couple days, and
Yeah.
we'll talk
Sounds
about
good.
that. So, all
Yep.
right. So, all right. Well, this wraps up episode 388 of the John 1911 podcast. If you want to see any more stories or pictures, links, anything like this, please go to the website at john1911.com. That's JOHN1911.com. Remember, it's all about shooting guns and having fun, everybody. Have a good night.
Stay safe out there.